Stuart Watts again from Tamworth. I've been fortunate enough to get some time with David Errington. You'll see in the background, David he owns, with his wife, I understand, Apollo Engineering in Tamworth. And one of the things about Apollo Engineering is that it's a very high-tech company in the manufacturing business. And David's been back in town now for 5 years.
5 years, yep.
And you brought your family back here from Queensland, didn't you?
Correct, yep.
And I guess my first question is, how's that transition worked out for you?
It's been pretty easy. Born and bred in Tamworth.
Yep.
We moved away for work in 2014.
Yep.
And then the opportunity came up to buy the business and move back to Tamworth. So it was a pretty easy decision to make. We know all the good things that Tamworth has to offer.
Yes.
So in order to pick the family up and come back to Tamworth, it was a pretty easy decision to make.
And the kids are settled in pretty well?
Yeah. Kids are both at school in Tamworth, loving school. It's a great place to bring up kids as well. So that was another, reason why it was such an easy decision to make.
As I keep saying to people, it takes a great village to raise a good family, and I think Tamworth is a very, very good village for that. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it offers a lot for kids, from sporting to the arts to everything around that, and that's, both of my kids are very sporty, so there's a lot to offer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll sort of move down the business path a little bit, and you've taken a position actually on the Tamworth Business Chamber as well, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right.
And I guess we're very fortunate to have people of your calibre on that business chamber, and because there's a lot going on in Tamworth, and we've been around and seen a lot of the new development. But I guess it's always nice to hone back in on companies that have done so well in the Tamworth landscape. And I guess looking through your profile, you work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. You'll work with some very, very big businesses in that manufacturing space. And I guess, like most people, you probably would have been challenged to find staff over time, and you've come up with some fairly innovative ways of getting around that. And migrant labour has been a very important part of your growth in the last couple of years.
It certainly has.
Can you share with us a little bit more about how that's worked for you?
Yep, look, the migrant labour, we went to the Philippines last year purely out of frustration, because Tamworth is a large manufacturing centre, so there's a lot of businesses that operate in similar fields to what we do.
Yep.
And one of the biggest risks in a town this size is cannibalising the labour market. And we didn't want to be a part of that. We wanted to think outside the box and come up with different solutions. So we've actually got quite a decent sized apprenticeship program. We're always bringing new tradespeople through our system, but we needed a short-term solution to our labour problem. So we went to the Philippines and sourced 7 migrant labourers from the Philippines. And then we brought them back out here to Tamworth, and they've integrated exceptionally well. There's a large Filipino community in Tamworth. The church is very supportive of the Filipino workers, and they're just such a lovely bunch of guys that they've integrated exceptionally well within the community.
And that obviously gives you peace of mind that it's a big investment, isn't it?
It's a huge investment. Yeah, it is.
And you'd like to think you're doing the right thing, and they're... And one of the traits you said to me is that they're very loyal, and they're very very focused, hardworking.
Very. Yeah, look, the long term...
Reliable, punctual?
All of the above. Yeah, there's no downside.
Yeah.
And the thing is, around the initial investment, while it is a large investment, the payback on the investment through improved productivity is pretty quick.
Yeah.
So it was an easy decision to make. And look, we've taken the first step. We've actually given the feedback to a lot of similar businesses to us in the wider region.
Yes.
About the processes that we went through, and a lot of these businesses have actually taken on Filipino immigrant workers. So there's probably about 5 or 6 businesses that have gone down the exact same path we have.
That's a testament to you sort of being the maverick initially, and...
Well, look, one of the things is collaboration, Stu.
Yep.
Like, we're never going to go ahead if we don't collaborate, if we operate as these individual silos. We're all facing the same problems.
Yes.
And everybody doing something different to try and solve the problems it's a very slow, inefficient, costly way to go. And what's good for one is good for the for the group.
Yep.
So while we're competitors, we also do a lot of work for those companies as well with our contract manufacturing services.
Yep.
So it's win-win, really. There's no downside to it.
And let's face it, Tamworth's on a growth plane that probably is the envy of a lot of different regional hubs on the eastern seaboard. We've got a lot going on at the moment.
We have a very progressive council in Tamworth, and they've got a vision, which is another reason why it was a very easy decision for us to come back to Tamworth.
So we'll touch on some of the new technology you've introduced, and I take it you've bought that from overseas, and that technology has probably made more efficiency in your business. And
So we're what you'd classify an advanced manufacturing company. So our core product is industrial cleaning equipment, which we build here and distribute throughout Australia, but we also export into 20 or so different countries. It's quite a competitive marketplace. So in order for us to be able to compete, we have some fairly specific features with our machines, but we're also very cost competitive as well. And the way we've been able to be cost competitive is to invest in the advanced manufacturing equipment that it's all just about efficiency. It's the last 3 years there's been significant investment in trying to improve our productivity. And the way to do that is with investment. With a similar investment in the human capital side of it as well, which hence the reason for the need to bring in the labourers, sorry.
And I guess that skilled labour, you can train them up to run those machines. That high tech is something that probably attracts people as well. In terms of working in a very good, clean, high quality, ultra modern, high tech environment. It's one of the things we focus on, and it's about trying to attract and retain staff. It is difficult because we're what you'd classify a production manufacturer here, so a lot of what we do is volume work. And so being able to attract people is an integral part of our business, and what we're focusing on over the last 2 years is trying to increase our exposure locally to people within the community about what we actually do here. Unfortunately for us, we're probably one of the better kept secrets in town. So trying to let people know what the opportunities are when they come on board with us that's the way forward for us. I notice you make the most amazing looking fire pits, but the one that's sitting around is the Manly Warringah one. I'd imagine you'd be giving that away sooner or later, won't you?
It's been there for
you
a
might
while.
Be a Manly supporter.
No. But look, there's lots of different strings to our bow.
Yes.
And being able to, for us, it's about productivity and utilisation of our time and materials. And so these little other products that we make, that's about utilising our materials to the best of our ability. It's trying to reduce waste. Look, manufacturing in Australia is still somewhat a dirty word because a lot of people don't think that we have the capabilities and we can't do it at a cost competitive price. But that's not necessarily true. There's areas where we are definitely not competitive, but there are also areas where we're very competitive because we're actually quite smart at the way we do things, and we identify niche industries, and when we identify a niche, what we have to do is we have to make sure that we're being as competitive as we possibly can. And that's investment in advanced equipment and upskilling our workforce.
David, thank you very much for the opportunity, and certainly wish the business well over the next period of time. We're very excited about what's going on in Tamworth, and I think if we can all put the oars in the water together and row the Tamworth boat, everybody will benefit.
Absolutely.
But again, thank you.
Thanks, Stu.
No worries at all.
Thank you.